I still want to pull a Clark W. Griswold where we just pack up the whole family and just go for a couple weeks somewhere.
Do it.
Yeah. I might have to do that. I don't.
Why not?
Now that I think deeper about this, I don't know. My kids might drive me nuts.
Well, you've got 3 of them, so I know.
Maybe a couple-day road trip. I think we can handle that. Good morning, everyone. Glad you're here on this Wednesday. I'm Eric Connors.
I'm Stella Escobedo. If you're just waking up, Netta, it is chilly, but you're tracking a warm-up.
Yes, a warm-up. I was going to say, Eric, not right now with gas prices the way they are. No.
Yes, virtual, a VR road trip.
Virtual. Yes, you can Zoom with all of these like hotels that you want to stay at. I don't know if it's the same, but let's talk about what it's like here at home. For those of you who are staying in San Diego for today, it's going to stay fairly cool. This is seasonal weather for us. Clouds to start, sunshine for the afternoon reaching 70. Red flag warning, though. Yes, we're watching for a fire weather elevating. We're talking about strong wind gusts. Santa Ana's coming through, and that warm up. It's not going to feel like fall after today. Jenny.
So right now, it's fairly quiet with your travel times. It's going to get busy later. I think, you know, the bulk of people are either sleeping currently or taking those half days for work. So here are your travel times. You can see a little bit of a delay north on that 805. Crossing the 15, this is not bad, though. This is just volume that is starting to register on the map at 601. Crash-wise, we've got a couple. This one is north on the 5, right at Encinitas Boulevard. That's the one I told you about last time. Still not a lot of information coming in. We've got crews off to the side. You can see your travel times not impacted by this crash. We've got one towards Ramona, Haverford Road at Elm Street. Single lane block. They're just doing some cleanup work. And again, we've got that delay on the 805, but otherwise South Bay looks good.
New this morning, some good news on the water main breaks impacting downtown. According to CHP, the main airport exit from the northbound 5 at Hawthorne Street is back open. The northbound 163 connector from A Street to Interstate 5 also reopened. However, there's still a lot of cleanup from Sunday's mess. 9 downtown buildings that are home to multiple residences and businesses remain under a boil water notice. Crews are still trying to figure out why the big pipes ruptured.
And all of this comes as the Thanksgiving holiday travel rush is picking up. Today is shaping up to be one of the busiest days, whether you're flying or you're driving.
Our team of reporters staying on top of it all. News 8's Evan Ronnie live at San Diego International Airport, and Chris Go keeping a close eye on our commute. But we start with Evan. Good morning.
Good morning, that's right. And here at the International Airport, we're starting to see kind of that rush of people making their way in, as 6:30 is the departure time for many of those flights that are coming out of San Diego International. So far, we've seen a lot of those flights on time. We'll show you what's going on behind us. Right now, not too much activity here outside of the terminal, but inside, those lines are starting to grow as people are getting ready for that holiday travel, some after a 2-year hiatus of Thanksgiving get-togethers. And although the TSA warns of long lines and delays, travelers who we've spoken with say it'll be worth it.
I got to the airport about 2.5 hours early because I was very concerned, and I breezed through traffic, security. It was super simple.
And TSA says they screened a record number of daily passengers on Friday, with 2.2 million people traveling through security checkpoints just on that day alone. They say security today and Sunday will be even busier. So a couple reminders. Make sure to check the rules of where you're traveling. Some destinations are still requiring a proof of vaccination or have different mask requirements in public places. You don't want to be caught off guard over the weekend. According to CBS News, about 40% of TSA workers have not submitted proof of vaccination, which could risk termination. But TSA administrator says numbers have improved greatly, and to not be worried about spending more than 30 minutes in security lines. Now, of course, this is assuming everything goes as expected. There were a lot of issues last month and the month before related to Southwest Airlines and American Airlines, seeing tremendous delays and cancellations over the weekend, raising concern as to whether or not that would be a similar situation over Thanksgiving. However, we've looked at the board so far this morning. Everything seems to be coming in and leaving San Diego International on time. That means you should be able to get there with enough time to get through security, to check your bags, and expect your flight to leave on time. But for the people who are opting to travel via the roads, they're maybe renting a car or taking their own and using the roads as their form of travel, we send things over to Chris Grow, who has more on that. Hi, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, Evan. And tell you what, if you are renting a car, then you better make sure that you're filling it up before you return it, because the gas prices are outrageous right now. And as we all know, those prices go up if you leave the car not fully full. Now, take a look at the 805 here going northbound. Traffic is moving. Yeah, the volume is probably a little bit up maybe from what we're used to seeing, but this is moving, and it probably is going to look a lot worse in several hours. In fact, again, AAA is estimating that there will be a record number of people hitting the roads, while at the same time filling up at the pump a close to record amount of average prices per gallon of gas. Now, the average right now, $4.66 in San Diego County, as the highest has been since October 2012. And the reason why we're seeing that is because demand right now is so high nationwide, coupled with that low supply of oil and fuel. That's led to that rapid increase in cost. Now, according to AAA, the increase has been constant for some time now. The average price has gone up 11.8 cents over the past 15 days. I just filled up my tank. It cost me $50 here for a Volkswagen Jetta. Now, the average price, again, is close to our record, which is $4.72, so we are just 6 cents away. The hope is that relief will be on the way after President Biden announced the release of a record 50 million barrels of oil from the nation's strategic petroleum reserve. However, economists believe that that would lower prices by 10 to 15 cents in several weeks. So right now, all eyes are on those high prices here for Thanksgiving.
During these days of high gas prices, the number one way to do that is make sure the vehicle's well maintained, including properly inflated tires. When you're heading out today for your Thanksgiving road trips, try to put everything inside the vehicle, in the trunk of the vehicle, instead of using those overhead luggage racks, because that creates drag and reduces fuel efficiency. And obey the speed limit, not just for your safety, but the faster the vehicle is moving, the more fuel you're burning.
And remember, that average gas price, that record average gas price, $4.72, that was, again, set back in October of 2012. That's when we saw last these gas prices that we're seeing right now, because that's when we last saw $4.66. It's the highest, again, it's been since the year 2012. Eric and Stella.
Chris, thank you for that. And this just in, unemployment claims are at their lowest in over 50 years. The number of Americans who applied for unemployment benefits last week was 199,000. That is a drop of 71,000 from the week before. And it is the lowest number since 1969. The 4-week average of jobless claims are also at the lowest since the pandemic started. And right now, SDG&E monitoring our dangerous weather conditions. Tomorrow, San Diego mountains and inland valleys will be under a red flag warning. It takes effect at 4 a.m. Thanksgiving morning through 6 o'clock Friday night. The utility company is trying to determine if they will cut power for some people on Thanksgiving to reduce the risk of fires. They already started notifying people who may be affected.
Public safety power shutoffs are always a last resort, and we completely understand that nobody wants their holiday to be ruined by something like this.
And Netta is joining us now with more on the red flag warning taking effect tomorrow. These are going to be dangerous conditions,
yes.
And it's not going to really feel like Thanksgiving.
No, it's not going to be fall-like. You won't need a sweater to go to your Thanksgiving party if that's what you're planning to do. I will say today it's actually feeling pretty normal. It looks pretty normal. We have onshore flow, some clouds out there in the mix. Here's our view from Cardiff State Beach. It's not necessarily low-lying, messing with our visibility this morning. Things are pretty nice and clear. What's that? Oh, not a paddle boarder. I was like, that was a very still paddle boarder, but no, it's a lifeguard stand. Let's take you to our mountain view. So this is where our gusts will start to obviously get strong from the mountains. That's where it always begins, and then it works its way all the way to the coast. That's going to start tonight. So for now, onshore flow is here. We have a little bit of that haze associated with the cloud coverage this morning. Partly cloudy skies to start things off on this Wednesday. It's 55 degrees for downtown San Diego. This afternoon, 69 downtown, 71 in Miramar, El Cajon 75. So these are fairly normal conditions. Everything changes tonight. Red flag warning will begin 4 a.m. tomorrow until 6 p.m. Friday. Look at that. Gusts 40 to 50 miles an hour, up to 60 possible. And then all that does is really dry out the air. Our vegetation desperately needs some rainfall. We have not had that since the beginning of November. And then our air will literally drop from the 80s and 90s to the single digits. That's the relative humidity. So that's why you see this right here. Very widespread fire risk. I haven't seen this in quite some time. So from the mountains like Palomar, Pine Valley, Alpine, it'll extend all the way to the 15. So that's why that red flag warning is in effect from the 15 and then further east into the mountains. So of course the winds are what we're watching for, and you see it already get strong by 8 o'clock tonight. You see the direction it's all coming from, straight from the deserts, and that's really what'll zap out the moisture. So we'll talk about those temperatures as well, that warm up here coming up in your full forecast. Let's get a check on traffic now. Good morning, Jenny.
Well, good morning. We've got our reporters out and about, because travel today is supposed to be the busiest for sure. I know the 805 is seeing a little bit of volume. I believe that's where Chris Grow was, but I do want to show you the map big picture because at 10 minutes after 6, it is still quiet. Give it a couple hours because people are taking those half days. It's going to get real busy in the early afternoon for sure. Here's that delay that we saw live just a few moments ago, 38 miles per hour. So you're hovering just under that speed limit. It just means there's a little bit of volume, but overall you're moving. Nothing to stress about if you have a flight. Unless you're leaving less than an hour before the flight, then maybe you should be a little stressed out. Here's the crash on the 5 northbound side at Encinitas Boulevard. We've got crews off to the side there. It's not causing any delays. I don't believe anyone was hurt in this particular crash. You can see the 78 through San Marcos. That looks good. No major issues on the 15. I'm going to take you on over to Ramona. We're dealing with earlier crash. So crews are doing a little bit of cleanup work here. Haverford Road right at Elm Street. Single lane is blocked in the Ramona area. Travel times to the South County, they look great. I don't see any issues on the Coronado Bridge driving out of Chula Vista, and the 805 at the 54 is a smooth commute.